Find a photograph of any spiral galaxy and look at the middle. The arms are faint and the outer edges fade into nothing, but the center is blazing. It looks exactly like one enormous star. A spiral galaxy is a pinwheel with a flat disk of stars. At its heart sits a central bulge, a tight concentration of stars. The whole thing is held together by gravity, and the brightest part of it is that middle. So the obvious guess is that one giant star sits in there. That guess is wrong, and it is wrong twice over. The bright middle is not a star at all. So what is actually in the middle of a galaxy? Start with our own neighborhood, because it sets your expectations wrong. The closest star to our sun is about 4 light years away. Space out here is mostly, overwhelmingly, empty. Every point in the night sky has a gulf around it. Now travel to the center of our own galaxy. Out here, stars sit about 4 light years apart. In there, stars are only 0.4 light years apart. In the tightest places, just 0.04 light years separate them. That is hard to feel, so here is the same fact another way. Take all the space between us and our nearest neighbor star. At the galactic center, that volume would hold 1 million suns. Out here, it holds exactly 1. That crowd has a name, the nuclear star cluster. Hubble looked into it and found more than 500,000 stars. They are packed so tightly that the crowd reads as a single point. From far enough away, 500,000 stars look like one. So that is the first answer, and it beats a giant star. The bright middle is a crowd. But a crowd is not a center. Keep going inward, because something stranger is waiting. At the very middle of that crowd, the stars start behaving badly. They are not drifting along with the rest of the galaxy. They are whipping around one single point extremely fast, and at that point there is nothing to see. Astronomers spent years watching those stars to find out what they circle. They tracked the motions of 28 stars in the most central region. An orbit is an honest measurement, because what you orbit, you also weigh, so the orbits became the instrument. One of those stars is called S2, and it moves absurdly fast. It completes a full revolution around the center every 16 years. That is one entire orbit inside a single human career. Whatever it is circling must be small and staggeringly heavy. The orbits gave a number, and the number is the whole story. The mass at the center of our galaxy is 4 million suns. The stellar orbits show that it must be a black hole, beyond any reasonable doubt, in the astronomers' own words. 4 million times the mass of our sun gathered into one place. Supermassive black holes run from hundreds of thousands to billions of solar masses. Ours sits near the bottom of that range, relatively small as these things go. This work was not a guess, and it was not quick. Reinhard Genzel and Andrea Ghez tracked those stars for decades. In 2020, they shared the Nobel Prize in Physics for it. The award was for discovering a supermassive compact object at our galaxy's center. So the center of the galaxy is 4 million suns of something. Something that holds stars in orbit, but shows us nothing. A black hole is a region of gravity so immense that nothing escapes it, not even light. That is the answer to the question this episode opened with. At the center of our galaxy is a supermassive black hole. Its name is Sagittarius A star, and it is 4 million solar masses. It is not a star, and it never was. So look at what the middle of a galaxy actually contains. A crowd of stars so dense that it reads as one point, and at the exact center, one object that emits nothing. The brightest place in the galaxy is built around the darkest thing in it. And this is not a quirk of our galaxy alone. Almost every large galaxy has a supermassive black hole at its center, including ours, and including the ones in every photograph you have seen. The bright middle is a crowd, everywhere, around a dark center. In 2022, astronomers released a photograph of that dark center. Look carefully at what the picture is actually showing you. We cannot see the black hole itself because it is completely dark. What we see is glowing gas around it. The image is a bright ring with a dark region inside it. That dark region has a name, the shadow. It is the one part of the picture with nothing in it, and it is the part everyone came to see. Getting that picture was absurdly difficult because the target is far away. The black hole is about 27,000 light years from Earth. At that distance, it appears the size of a donut on the moon. That is the resolution it took to photograph nothing. The first black hole ever photographed was not even ours. It sits at the center of a galaxy called Messier 87. That galaxy is 55 million light years from Earth. Its black hole is 6.5 billion times the mass of the Sun. Hold those two numbers next to each other for a moment. Ours is 4 million solar masses. That one is 6.5 billion. The same kind of object in the same place on a wildly different scale. And Messier 87 is not the record holder either. The black hole at the center of Holmberg 15A holds at least 40 billion solar masses. Tens of billions of suns gathered into one dark object, all of it sitting in the middle of a galaxy. There is one more honest thing to say about all of this. We know these objects are there, and we know roughly what they weigh. We do not know how they came to be. Scientists are genuinely unsure how supermassive black holes formed. There is a second wrong idea worth taking apart here. People assume the black hole is what holds the galaxy together. It sits in the middle, so it must be the anchor. That is not what is happening. Compare the masses, which is the only fair way to settle it. Sagittarius A star is 4 million times the mass of the Sun. The largest galaxies contain trillions of stars. The object in the middle is a tiny fraction of the whole. So what does hold a galaxy together? Gravity does, but it is everyone's gravity, not one object's. Stars, planets, gas and dust, all bound together by gravity. The galaxy holds itself. The black hole is a resident of the galaxy, not its foundation. It is the most extreme thing there and the most famous. It is not the reason the rest of it stays. It just happens to live at the bottom of the well. One last thing, because not every galactic center behaves like ours. Ours is quiet as these things go, but some galaxies have a small core of emission at their center, a bright point embedded in an otherwise ordinary galaxy. Those are called active galactic nuclei, and they are extreme. The bright region is light from gas and dust falling into a black hole. It can outshine the rest of the galaxy altogether. One point, brighter than every star around it combined. So look at that photograph one more time. The blazing middle is a crowd of stars, not a star. And the true center of it gives off nothing at all. Every galaxy you have seen is built around something you cannot see.